Since the accident, I never said, oh, I hate that guy, because I know he wasn't out to get me. He wasn't out to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to crash and hurt somebody today.
On July 28, 2016, Randi-Leigh Pomerleau was sitting in her parked vehicle on Elgin Street when an impaired driver rear-ended her car, driving it forward into two other vehicles and snapping a parking meter and light post.
What I was told from the paramedics was that they were arriving to a no vitals on arrival. I wasn't breathing, I was knocked out, so like everybody pretty much figured that was the end of it. So when I woke up, it took me a solid minute, if not longer, it probably felt like longer, to start breathing again, because it was just, I guess the wind was knocked out of me and everything.
On April 11th, Chad Patry was sentenced to 6 months in jail for impaired driving causing bodily harm. A 6-month sentence may not seem like a long time for an impaired driving conviction, but Pomerleau said that she feels for Patry and his family.
And I mean, I was frustrated. I didn't hate him, but I was frustrated. And to put a face, to put a personality to the name, to put a human behind that name was extremely, not difficult for me, but I mean, it was different. I feel bad, like I feel for him, and I would imagine 6 months in a jail is terrifying, so.
Do you feel that justice has been served?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
Pomerleau said her heart goes out to the other victim as well, Kim DeSalle, who was in the vehicle with Patry the day of the accident. DeSalle suffered a fractured sternum, injured a disc in her back, and suffers from PTSD as a result of the crash.
Learning that she had just met him that day, I sobbed. I sobbed in court, and finding it's the imagining her begging him to slow down and begging him to stop that it's, like I said, I sobbed.
Yeah.
It was hard. So I tried to be as positive as possible, like turn it into something that could be possibly a learning curve, or I don't know, like I can only wish that he comes out of this and realizes, like, obviously that's not a good idea, you know.
As a result of the collision, Pomerleau not only experiences physical pain, but she has trouble spelling, reading, and suffers from vertigo. But she remains positive for her 4-year-old daughter, Mabel.
The last thing I want is her to be emotionally affected, like to think that our life is completely different just because something happened to me. Like, it's not, she's so little, it's hard to explain to her, besides just saying, like, mommy hurts. So, like, if you look at the bigger picture of it, 6 months for damaging two people's lives for as long as it possibly could doesn't seem like a long time. But at the same time, like, I don't wish him bad. Even for me to survive, like, that was a pretty big deal. I don't know what it was, and I did, so.
Do you forgive him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Heather Green Oliver, Sudbury.com.